You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro. Joining us today, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Tuesday, 15th day of August, 2023. Thanks so much for joining us. Whoever you are, wherever you are, we're just glad to have you right here, right now. This is our second live broadcast of the day. First live broadcast is from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Now, that's our live training room. That's reserved for members only and those who are taking their 1-week free trial. If you haven't taken your 1-week free trial, you can do so by going to mytradingiq.com, and at the top of the page, there's a button that says 5-day free trial. Click the button and the journey begins. Just fill out the form, get your desktop set up, your indicators indicating, and it doesn't matter what day of the week or weekend or hour of the day that you sign up, you will get 5 consecutive trading days, even if it stretches over a weekend, where you'll have access to everything our lifetime members have access to. Not just the live training room, but the weekly trading zones, Logic 247 alerts, the concierge trade alerts, one-on-one mentoring, even more. mytradingiq.com, buttons at the top of the page. No credit card required. When we say free, it really is free. In fact, we invest our time, our energy, and our resources in you so that you're able to experience everything we offer at no cost to you. And at the end of your 5-day free trial, make a well-informed and intelligent decision as to whether or not trading is right for you and if what we do is right for you. When the live training room ends, we take a 30-minute break and come back for this broadcast, which starts every trading day at 12 noon Eastern. There's 2 different ways to join this afternoon broadcast. Best way is you only have to do it once. Just go to mytradingiq.com, scroll down to where it says afternoon broadcast. Click the link, complete the 30-second registration form, and you're done. Going forward, every trading day, you'll get an email about an hour before the broadcast starts. So at 12 noon Eastern, all you have to do is click the link in the email, and it will automatically log you into our platform. Now, I say that's the best way because that way gives you access to the question box, so you can ask questions and participate in the discussion. Of course, there'll be days that you're out of the office, away from the desktop, but you'd still like to join live. And there'll be days that you're just busy and you can't join live, but you wish you could. We have a solution for both situations. It's called our YouTube channel, and it's pretty easy to remember. youtube.com/CFRN. youtube.com/CFRN. Not only do we broadcast live every trading day on our YouTube channel, but we also archive each and every daily broadcast. Currently, there's over 2,200 daily episodes archived for your educational and viewing pleasure. And for those who are new to the world of CFRN, it's a good way to get to know who we really are. Not just today or this week, but thanks to YouTube, you can scroll back 6 weeks or 6 months or a year or 2 years or 3 years or more. Just pick some days at random. What you'll find is the thread of connectivity, the thread of continuity that's woven through each and every daily broadcast over the years. It's kind of a Cliff's Notes to get you up to speed, so you know who you're really dealing with. Now, let's open with a word of prayer in our daily devotional, as we do every day. Topic of today's episode, if you've tuned in via the YouTube channel, is the importance of swing highs and swing lows when trading. So we'll talk about that for a little bit in a little bit. And then 45 minutes into the broadcast, Michael will join us. He'll give us a recap of what happened this morning in the live training room. Then we'll trade live for 30 minutes on the TradingView platform. Then we'll wrap things up with our good word for the day. Our scripture today, Psalm 107, verses 1 and 2. And I'm going to share it with you from the Message translation. Oh, thank God, He's so good. His love never runs out. All of you set free by God, tell the world. Tell how He freed you from oppression, then rounded you up from all over the place, from the four winds, from the seven seas. All the time, God is good. Every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. It's James 1:17. Chances are pretty strong you've heard someone ask this question. If God is good, why do bad things happen? You've probably even wondered this yourself. It's hard for us to reconcile the goodness of God with things like war and pandemics and social injustice. It's not just those global issues either. For many people, personal circumstances affect and even define how they see God. Scripture addresses this human tendency with a stunning absolute. Whatever you think or experience, God is good all the time and forever. The psalmist didn't know exactly how God would ultimately redeem His people from trouble. All he knew is that He would. So he called God's people to give thanks. Then James, looking backward at Jesus' work on the cross and His resurrection, echoed the same truth. The same God the psalmist declared as having steadfast love that endures forever was still responsible for every good and perfect gift centuries later. He was unchanging then, and He is unchanging now, and He is unchanging forever. Since sin entered the world, circumstances changed, and bad things do happen. But God remains untouched and unchanged by sin. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Hebrews 13:8. Our thankfulness and worship of God isn't predicated by our circumstances, but by his character. So remember who he is. Sing about it. No matter what's happening in the world or what season we're in, it's never wrong to believe that God is good all the time. Past, present, and future. God is always good. In the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, he has redeemed us from our trouble and draws us to himself. So ask yourself this question. Do you tend to focus more on who God is or what your circumstances are? And then ask yourself, why does it matter? Join me in a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with hearts full of gratitude and praise. Your steadfast love endures forever. Your goodness knows no bounds. We thank you for your unending mercy, and the countless ways you have rescued us from the depths of darkness. You are our Savior, the Redeemer, who gathers us from all corners of the earth. We were lost, wandering in the wilderness of life, but you found us and brought us home. Your mighty hand guides us through the storms, and your unwavering grace sustains us through every trial. We offer our thanksgiving for the blessings you bestow upon us daily. You satisfy our hunger with spiritual nourishment. You quench our thirst with the living water of your word. Teach us to give thanks, not just in times of plenty, but also in troubled times. For you have promised to provide for all our needs. Father, we pray that our lives be a testimony to your greatness. Let our lips continually declare your praise, and may our actions reflect the love you have poured into our hearts. As we journey through this world, may we never forget your faithfulness and the marvelous works that you have done. It's in Jesus' name that we believe and pray. And everybody said, amen. Well, happy Tuesday. Let me give you the numbers from around the world. Start here in the U.S. with the cash markets, or the indices as they're called. Currently the Dow is down 295 points. It's almost 1%. The NASDAQ is down 86. The S&P 500 is down 34. And the Russell 2000 is down 17. That's almost 1%. In the commodity basket, crude oil down $1.90, trading 80.62 last. That's a drop of over 2.25%. Gold down $6.20, trading 19.3780 last. Silver down 6 cents, trading 22.64 last. In the Asian markets at the close, the Nikkei posted a gain of 178 points. The Shanghai dropped 2. The Hang Seng fell 192. And that's just over 1%. In the European markets at the close, FTSE fell 117 points. That's over 1.5%. The DAX dropped 136 points, which is almost 1%. And the CAC fell 81, which is just over 1%. So yes, the only green on the screen is the Nikkei. So we had a mixed day in Asia. was a red day for the UK. So far, it's a big red Radio Tuesday here in the US of A. You may have heard the term Turnaround Tuesday. Well, this would be what they call a Turn Down Tuesday. Why? Well, when we go to the daily chart, it'll be pretty obvious. Before we do that, we'll take a look. The Logic 247 alerts. Tough week so far. If you've had difficulty with your own personal trading this week, it's because the market has had a lack of follow-through. And when you look at the big picture, it's not so apparent, but as you drop to the smaller time frames, it's easy to see that there is indecision among the institutions who actually move price as to whether we should be rising or falling. We're in week 263 of Logic 247. That's our 24/7 around-the-clock E-mini alert service. It's not just the E-minis, but it also includes crude, gold, silver, euro, bonds, even soybeans. Over the last 236 weeks, we've issued over 14,900 individual handcrafted alerts. And we've averaged, on a weekly basis, 20% or less of the alerts being stopped out based on the risk profile and market structure that we teach all of our lifetime members in their unlimited one-on-one mentoring sessions. A lifetime member is a passport holder. The CFRN passport is your all-access pass to everything we do, everything we've ever done, and whatever we do in the future. Since the markets opened Sunday night, we've issued 18 alerts. Now, this recap was as of 6:30 a.m. this morning. It has changed since then because there have been additional alerts issued. When Valerie gets back in the office this afternoon, she'll update the recap. But as of 6:30 a.m. Eastern, this is where we stood. 18 issued, 4 waiting, 14 actionable alerts, with 4 getting stopped out, which is 29% of the actionable alerts. So we are definitely a little above the average that we've had over the last 263 weeks. Now, along with the Logic 247 alerts, we still have our original alert service, the concierge trade alerts. They're a little bit different. And I'll tell you how. Number one, they don't come out around the clock. They're posted shortly after the Globex open each evening. Globex opens for trading Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. The markets remain open until Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. There's a 1-hour break each day from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So today's the Tuesday session. It will end at 5 p.m. this afternoon. Markets will go quiet for 1 hour, and then at 6 p.m. Eastern tonight, the markets will reopen, and that will be the beginning of the Wednesday session, even though it's still Tuesday night here in the U.S. Now, the CTAs are published as a static report. All of our members and trial members got these targets last night at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Cover all the same markets, and because this broadcast is open to the public, if you want to grab a screenshot, you can. Or if you're watching it after the fact, you can just hit pause and jot down whatever markets you personally trade. Once the report comes out, the first thing you do is go to the 30-minute chart of whatever markets you trade. We'll use the ES as an example. Make a note on your 30-minute chart where price is at the time the report is released. It's always going to be between these two numbers. Then draw a line in the sand at the long target, line in the sand at the short target. Those will serve as great visual cues to help you stay on the right side of the street. If price gets above the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the long target. If price is below the 30-minute BBC, it's attempting to reach the short target. It's that simple. Now, on the logic alerts, I've already looked left for you to spot potential obstacles. With the CTAs, you lean on the logic alerts and your own observation of the chart to spot previous swing highs and swing lows, which can become current support or resistance. And over time, you'll learn how price behaves at a weekly trading zone. That's important because price is always trying to reach a weekly trading zone. From the moment the markets open Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern until they close Friday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern. Price is above the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to get to the zone overhead. If price is below the 30-minute BBC, it's trying to get to the zone below. We've published the zone since December 14th of 2009. They come out Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. That's so our members can get them on their charts before Wall Street even wakes up for the week. Only three things happen at a weekly trading zone. When price reaches a zone, 70% of the time you'll see consolidation, 20% of the time you'll see rejection, 10% of the time you'll see what's called the slice. That's when price slices through a zone like it's not even there. When that happens and that slice runs out of steam, it will typically retrace back to the zone it sliced through and then continue in the direction of the slice. Once you really understand how to use the weekly trading zones, they will become one of the most important tools in your trading toolbox. And as a passport holder, you'll have lifetime access to the weekly zones. The tough part is resisting the urge to make it more complicated than what I just explained. As long as you know which way the wind is blowing, it's pretty simple to reach your goal for the day. A reminder, all members and trial members had these last night at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. Now, I said the topic of today's broadcast, or the title, was the importance of swing highs and swing lows when trading. Swing highs and swing lows are crucial concepts in technical analysis. They provide valuable insights into price movements and trends. They play a pivotal role in identifying trend changes, establishing support and resistance levels, and making informed trading decisions. So here's a couple reasons why learning to spot swing highs and swing lows are important. One is trend identification. Swing highs and swing lows help identify the direction of the prevailing trend. In an uptrend, swing highs are generally higher than previous swing highs, and swing lows are higher than previous swing lows. In a downtrend, swing highs are lower than previous swing highs, and swing lows are lower than previous swing lows. Number two, swing highs can act as resistance levels. This is where you'll see price often stall or reverse. Swing lows can act as support levels, providing a floor where price may bounce. Traders use these levels to identify potential entry and exit points. Chart patterns. Swing highs and swing lows contribute to the formation of chart patterns like triangles, channels, head and shoulder patterns. These patterns help traders anticipate potential breakout or reversal points. We're not really trend recognition people, but it's a good idea to know what some of the very basic ones are. 4. Trend reversals. A series of lower swing highs and lower swing lows can signal a potential trend reversal from an uptrend to a downtrend, and vice versa. Recognizing these reversals early is essential for your trading strategy. 5. Traders often use swing highs and lows to determine optimal entry and exit points for trades. Entering near swing lows in an uptrend or swing highs in a downtrend can provide favorable risk-reward ratios. Stop loss. Placing stop loss orders just below swing highs in short positions or above swing lows in long positions can help limit potential losses if the trade goes against you. Number 7. Swing highs and lows are integral to technical analysis, along with things like Fibonacci retracements and extensions. These tools help predict potential levels of support, resistance, and price targets. 8. Trend strength. Analyzing the spacing between swing highs and swing lows can provide insights into the strength of a trend. Tighter spacing indicates a strong trend, while wider spacing might suggest weakening momentum. Number 9, risk management. By considering swing highs and lows, traders can determine optimal position sizes based on the potential distance to the next swing point or support or resistance level. And number 10, price action signals. Reversal candlestick patterns that form around swing highs or lows can provide additional confirmation of potential trend changes. Swing highs and swing lows are versatile tools used by traders across various time frames, from intraday to long-term trading. They actually form the foundation of technical analysis and contribute to the construction of trading strategies based on trend following, trend reversal, and even breakout. Understanding and effectively using swing highs and lows can significantly enhance your ability to interpret price movements and make well-informed trading decisions. So let's go to the daily chart. We had a nice run up starting back in May. We went sideways for a while. Then we got put together a leg and a retracement. Now, the pullback to the BBC holds more often than not. The green line that you'll see on my daily chart here and on my 30-minute charts. All alerts are based on the 30-minute chart. Price rarely travels in a straight line. You get a leg and a retracement. Leg and a retracement. Leg and a retracement. A leg and a retracement. Well, we started talking about this retracement when the step line crossed blue and climbing. As you can see, price attempted to move higher, but once blue and climbing got above price, it became resistance because it was on its way to becoming red and falling. And because we had had so many pullbacks, the price always reverts to the mean. In our case, the mean is green and it's called the BBC. That just stands for bull, bear, cross. When price crosses above it, we're bullish. We anticipate higher prices. When price crosses below it, we're more bearish and anticipate lower prices. As you can now, we were talking that on this pullback, this very well might be the one that didn't hold. You can go listen to the August 2nd broadcast where we discussed that. Blue and climbing, it turned to red and falling. Blue and climbing is bullish. Red and falling is bearish. So we got below the BBC, and then we consolidated sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sessions. And then on Friday, we put in a swing low. That candle opened and closed below the BBC. I mentioned yesterday that, or on Monday, or Friday it was, or yeah, no, it was yesterday, that I thought this could be a potential head fake. And as you can see, when the market opened last night, we did run right up. We touched the BBC, and now we've fallen. Monday's low was 44.65. Friday's low was 44.59. Today's low is 44.58 half. So we took out Friday's low by 2 ticks. Always be suspicious of a breakup or a breakdown that's only a few ticks or a few points. So while this is obviously a bearish candle, and as you can see, the pullback holds, whether it's pulling back from above or from below, the pullback holds more often than not. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. So now what we need to do is we need to put in a significantly lower low than what we had on Friday. That will take us down to this potential support that was put in on July 10th. And then we have the 24% fib retracement. The low of these fibs that I've drawn on the daily chart reach back to the October 13th low of last year, to the most recent swing high put in on July 27th. This is bearish. Now, there's always going to be those looking to pick the bottom and push price higher. But the reason we're looking at a daily chart is because institutional traders, the ones who actually move price because of their account size, they look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts the way you and I might look at 30-minute charts, 5-minute charts, tick charts, and range charts. So no matter what market you trade, it's a good idea to spend 2 minutes looking at the daily chart of whatever it is you trade. It could be futures, could be stocks, could be crypto, forex, ETFs, because you want to see what the deep pockets are doing or trying to do. Now, the market is always trying to break the previous swing high or break the previous swing low. Here's the most recent swing high, and this was the most recent swing low. So as price came down to that swing low, it served as good support. It gave us a bounce, the very thing we just talked about when we were talking about the importance of swing highs and swing lows. So we're off the low of the day, but we're still below red and falling. We're still below the step line. $44.59, $44.58 half. That's just 2 ticks. Again, that's how important swing lows and swing highs can be, whether you're on the daily chart or on the 30-minute chart. But the daily chart gives you a real good idea of where institutional traders are putting their confidence in higher prices or lower prices. Now, I mentioned it this morning in the live training room that we were approaching the Friday low, and that should have immediately prepared everyone for this bounce that we've seen. Now, unless buyers are really convinced, and I'm talking about the institutional buyers, unless they're really convinced they can take price higher, they're going to stop buying. Once the institutional traders stop buying, then the institutions that specialize in short selling, they'll come out of the woodwork. And price can fall a lot faster than it rises. It takes financial commitment for price to rise. But for price to fall, all that's required is for the institutional buyers to hit the pause button. That doesn't require financial commitment. Now, add on top of that the fact that when short sellers recognize that buyers have hit the pause button, that's when they go to work and they can drive price down a lot quicker than it climbs. I mean, it took us from May to July to put in this high. But we could easily see support here. Now at the 24% fib retracement, every institutional trader has it on their chart. Fibs are not proprietary. It's 14th century math. But again, whatever market you trade, or stock, or crypto, or Forex, or ETF, spend 2 minutes with the daily chart. Get an understanding where the institutions are making their stand or failing to make a stand. And that will guide you with your smaller time frame trading. This is the 30-minute chart of the ES. The vertical line separates today, Tuesday, from yesterday, Monday. Back over here is Friday. Now remember the weekly trading zones. Yesterday you were looking at last week's zones. Today you're looking at this week's zones. Okay. As price approaches a weekly zone, we look for resistance. As price drops to a zone, we expect support. Here's that consolidation I was talking about, 70% of the time. Price reached up to the BBC, which we expect to be resistance until proven otherwise. And then down we dropped from this weekly zone to this weekly zone. Did that give us a bounce? Yep, almost back to the zone overhead. But it's pretty simple to see who's in control here at the moment. Now, because red and falling has gotten directly below price, it can actually serve as support. Now, today's the Tuesday session, but it started last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. So the market did attempt higher, but it had blue and climbing above price. We know that can act as resistance. So this is not an area where we would want to go long. We want to wait for price to get below the BBC. And now it takes us right down to the short target. Catch a bounce. We hit the zone. Consolidate at the zone. Remember, that's what's going to happen 70% of the time. 20% of the time, rejection. We hit the zone at 44.65/66. Caught a bounce, but we weren't able to make it all the way back to the zone or the BBC. That's a sign of weakness. Okay. If price trades below this weekly zone, you need to take into account this swing low right here. This is today's low. Okay. So just as we saw price bounce on the daily chart, we expect that same type of activity on the 30-minute chart. As you can see, this swing low was defined last Friday. This is Tuesday, this is Monday, this is Friday. Swing low, 44.59. Today we took it out by 2 ticks. But did we accomplish our goal of hitting the short target? We did. More than enough room here to get your goal for the day. On the Dow, we opened above the BBC. The market attempted higher, but as we look left, we see there's lots of obstacles. Okay, right here is right here, and when price failed here, you see what happened. Blue and climbing turned to red and falling. We got below the BBC, and we traded right down to the target. Then we dropped to the next zone where we consolidated. And then we put in another leg to the downside. This leg right here. We spiked the low that was put in on August 8th. We bounced, and we're continuing to head lower. We're below the BBC, we've got red and falling, we're below red and falling, and the step line. So you've got potential support here, here, and then you expect support at the zone until proven otherwise. Plenty of room to get your goal for the day. On the Russell, just like the ES and the Dow, the indices tend to mirror each other, with the S&P being the bellwether or the leader. As you can see, price moves sideways and we've got resistance overhead. When climbing, turn to red and falling, that's your first heads up. The price is potentially going to drop. Even though the pullback to the BBC holds more often than not, eventually it's going to trade through it. That's what keeps markets fluid and tradable. We got below the weekly trading zone and the BBC, and we dropped to the zone below, and then we continued right down to the target. Consolidated, dropped to the next zone, bounced off the zone, but not far enough to touch the BBC. That's a sign of weakness. So then we traded down to the next zone where we consolidated again. Remember, 70% of the time. So now the Russell needs to overcome this swing low before it can move down to the next weekly zone. And that is the lowest weekly zone this week for the Russell. So 1903, there's not 2 points there, so you would best be served waiting for price to break this low. And then on a pull back to the BBC on your range chart, that's when you want to get short. On the NQ, price attempted higher, but once blue and climbing got above price, just like the other indices, turned to red and falling, took price below the BBC, down to the zone. We found support by looking left right there. We bounced back up to red and falling, and that took us all the way down to here. Caught another bounce. We spiked the BBC, but the pullback held. And that leg took us all the way down to the target and the zone below. Support will send the market looking for resistance. Resistance will send the market looking for support. Price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. Futures, stocks, crypto, forex, ETFs. Price moves from support to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over, again and again. It's a never-ending cycle. It's just a matter of you learning how to read the chart and interpret what price action is telling you. Crude oil, market opened last night, ran up, tagged the long target, pretty much to the tick. And then blue and climbing turned to red and falling. Price got below the BBC, consolidated at the zone, pulled up to the BBC, the pullback held. That took us down to the short target a second time. And we consolidated at the zone. Now we've traded below the zone. Got one more zone below us down at 79. Today's only Tuesday. Okay. On gold, the market's opened below the BBC, and price took us down to the short target. We got above the BBC, and we ran up to this zone. We spiked the zone, but we didn't quite touch the target. Again, that's a sign of weakness. And so price promptly gets back below the BBC. We got a red candle, and blue and climbing is on its way to turning to red and falling. I would wait until I got down into this area, 1930 down to 1928. It would be $200 per contract traded. Silver, like gold, opened below the BBC and basically made a beeline to the short target. Got above the BBC, made a run at the long target, didn't quite get all the way there. And back below the BBC, now we're heading lower. Silver, market opened, we hit the long target multiple times, got below the BBC, hit the short target, got above the BBC, hit the long target, found resistance, not only at the zone, but where resistance was defined yesterday. And on the euro, we opened at a zone, ran to the zone above, hit the long target, pulled back to the BBC, found support, hit the target again. Now we've got red and falling, prices below the BBC, so the next logical place for support is at the zone. If we get through the zone, this low, and if we take out that low, then this low. So between here and here, that's your short target. And Michael's here.
I am. I am indeed.
Take it away.
All right, here we go. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, the 15th day of August, 2023. If you've not taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com. Right here is the sign up for your free 5-day training, 9:30 to 11:30. Click on that. When you do that, you'll be sent everything you need to get into the room in the morning. To prepare for that, you should maybe go here, download the trading platform, or give us the information we need so you can get your trading platform set up on your desktop in front of you. For the trial, click on the trade rules, familiarize yourself with the trade rules, and click on videos and watch some of these videos. Now, these videos that were taken straight from the room, not exactly randomly, but just straight from the room, just trade setups that we took that, where I go through the motions for you so you can actually see what's going on in the room. All right, and those are actual trades that we put on in the room. You can tell this one was done in June because it's 6 contracts, so it was the 6th month. And this one looks like it was also done in June, and that one you can't really see. But yeah, I'm guessing they were all done pretty much the same time. I don't know for sure. But yeah, so that's what you should do when you take the free trial, all right? Check all that stuff out so you're ready when you get into the room in the morning. Now, we had pretty good results this morning. We didn't quite meet the daily average so far this month or on a year, but we're getting there. Today is, again, if you're going to read the spreadsheet, you have to read all the CFTC risk disclosures down at the bottom. Today is the 15th day of August, 2023. We made 41 ticks in the NASDAQ. We lost 20 in the Russell. We actually, did we lose 20? Yeah, I guess we did lose 20 in the Russell. We made 12. Is that right? Yeah, 12 on the gold and 17 on the ES. That put us at 437.5 in the morning session. Today it took 3 minutes and 1 trade to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $800 and took a total of 20 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're at $4,462. So we're going to do better than last month. Last month, we were only at $57.32 by the end of the month. And this month, we're not even halfway through the month. Actually, we are just about halfway through the month. Business day wise, we are, let's see, we had a lot of business days in this month, if I remember right? 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23 business days this month. So we're about halfway through the month, business day wise. Anyway, on the month, we're at 44.62. We've gotten our goal for the day on 150 out of 154 days so far this year, and that puts us at 68,604 on the year in the morning session. And if you were to quit trading when you get your goal, and you would add 1 contract per month, so far this year you would have only had to work 46.41 hours, and you would have averaged $2,000 an hour right now, right at $2,000 an hour. Pretty good money if you can get it with 8 contracts. All right, so let's get into what we actually did do. Now, the gold is going to be pretty easy to go through. We didn't have that many trades in gold. All right, we had this one right here where we took 10 ticks profit. That is where we got our goal for the day, I think, isn't it? Did we get it in gold? We did get it in gold. Okay, hang on. We did one in the pre-market. Oh yeah, that wasn't a pre-market. It was at 9:16. 9:18 is when we got it. We started up at 9:15 this morning. All right, we started a new thing this week. We're going to start at 9:15 in the TradingView stream. Any of you guys that are actual partners are welcome to get in there now at 9:15 if you want to. All right, you're free to get in there at that time too. And I will do the morning session until 11:30 like I always do. But I'm just going to start it up 15 minutes earlier now. All right, at least this week for the live stream. But right here, we got our goal for the day in the pre-market right here. We took 10 ticks profit on that. Then we had a break-even trade on that one. And then we did trade again until here an hour later. And we got a couple more ticks on that to put us at plus 12. All right. There were a few more trades in here during the morning session. I didn't get that. I didn't get that or that or any of these. These were all during the break. I didn't do anything during the break with that. So we were able to get 12 ticks out of gold this morning. So a pretty good gold day. Now, the Russell kind of whooped me this morning. One of the trades I believe I did by, I don't know if it was on the Russell. I think it was you. I made a mistake on the NQ this morning. But my first trade on the Russell was right here, right at the open. I should have had my stop at break even on that, but I didn't, and it stopped me out. That was a mistake too. Then I didn't trade it again until a little while later. So I missed some nice trades through here. And I didn't trade it again until here. And I took this one because I thought it was going to keep going down, obviously, or I wouldn't have taken it. And it stopped me out. But none of these other ones that triggered after it would have worked out either. So this was just a tough spot for it right here. You had to wait until it gave a lower swing to be able to get into it again. But because I took the first one, I didn't take any of those. And that was all that I did. I think I had one more break-even trade toward the end here. But I missed these nice trades right here while I was doing the training this morning. And then we get in here. We had nothing there that you could do, nothing here to do. And once you broke out of there, I would have been waiting for something off the ribbon, which happened right here. All right. And that didn't put in a lower swing, so I would not have done this green arrow right here. And that was it for the Russell today. All right. We ended up with minus 20 on the Russell. The ES had one nice trade on the ES, one mediocre trade on the ES. But it started out right here. Now I got into this trade on the pullback a little bit here, and I ended up taking 14 ticks on it. Right, that was our first trade on the ES, and I got 14 ticks on that. I had a break even on this trade, a break even on this trade, both which worked out pretty well afterward, and I had a +2 on this one. All right, so I didn't take out the question box, but let me take that out and see if anybody's asked me any questions. Don't see any questions yet, but let's see. So we ended up getting a break even. I'm sorry, we got +2 on that. Sorry, we didn't get a break even. We got a +2. And that was the last one that we did this morning. Okay, that was the last trade that we did this morning. The ES. And right now, looks like on the ES, it's actually triggered in a little bit of a trade right here right now. But we're going to minimize this. and put it back over here like this. And I'm on the NQ now. I'm going to jump into the NQ here in just a second. Hang on a sec. Let's look at the NQ here now. Okay. The NQ started out. Let's go all the way back to the beginning on this. Maybe back here. Cancel on that. Okay, you had some pretty trades in there while I was training. It had a lot of no trade zone in here too. You see all that? I would go all the way back to the pre-market because that is where we started today. I wish I could do this in just like one mouse click. Okay, so in here, this was our first NQ trade. On the very first trade, we picked up just 4 ticks right here. All right, and then as we move forward in here, we got, it looks like another 7 to get us to 11 ticks on the NQ. All right, and a little bit of no trade zones. We had some decent arrows in here. That one and that one. We finally took this one over here and we picked up 30 ticks. That put us at plus 41. And the next one we stopped out on. This right here, I think, was the mistake that I made. Yeah, this was. I was in the training and I put this trade on. It was a mistake. We weren't coming off a higher swing. We had this arrow over here. It didn't give us a higher swing. And I was in a no trade zone. This was a mistake. I should not have taken that trade. I got minus 20 ticks on that one. The next one I took over here was a valid trade, but it stopped me out to the tick. So I got minus 26 on that one. So at that point, we're back down to just plus 1 tick on the N2. The next trade in here, we managed to get 30 ticks profit on that. Put us back up to and I got to fix that because we're down to 1 ticks, and that put us up to 31. And I had 41 for that, so it put us back up to 31. And right here, we had a break even. After that, we had the training that we got into all through here. We had a lot of new trade zone in there, so I didn't trade anything all through there. Okay, and we got another break even trade here once I started trading again. And that looks like it. That's where we wrapped it up. During the break, we had, well, we had a few trades in here during the break. In through here, and here, I would have been waiting for the green arrow. After the direction change, I would have been waiting for that green arrow. Right, it was kind of choppy. Looks like right in here, it started to get all right. We need to wait for the lower swing on every one of these, though. Okay, I had to wait for that lower swing on every one of those. And that was it. That was the NQ. Ended up with plus, let me fix it. It was actually plus 31, not 41 on the NQ. Okay. So that is going to change some of these numbers around a little bit. So we ended up with 387.5 on the morning session. Okay, so on the month, we're now at 44.12. And on 10 days, we're averaging 441. And when we got our goal for the day, that's going to stay the same. But our total on the year, 68,554. So this all just went down $50. Okay. And this probably didn't change much. The average on the year, daily average on the year for the morning session is 457. All this is going to stay the same if you quit when you got your goal for the day. You still would only have to work 46.41 hours, and you still would have averaged $2,000 an hour. Now, if you've not taken a free trial with us, go here to mytradingiq.com. Right here is how you sign up for the free trial. I'll be saying that over and over again in the next half hour. All right, so take a drink before I jump into the live stream, and then I'll jump right into that live stream, okay? Okay, time for the live stream. It should be starting now. So here we go. So if you haven't taken a free trial with us and you want to, go here to mytradingiq.com, click on this right here. All right. When you do that, give us your GUI and we'll set you right up with your indicators. All right. So this morning we ended the room this morning with plus, let me fix this, plus 12 on gold, plus 31 on the NQ, plus 18 on the ES, and we lost 20 ticks on the Russell. Now the ES and a green arrow short right here, after coming off a lower swing, is giving a little bit of green arrow short right here. So that is giving us an opportunity to sell it right here. And what we anticipate is going to get down to this level right here. Okay, here it is. There's the trade. Now this is a 7-tick range. So every trade starts out with 10 ticks of risk, and the stop goes to break even after you get 4 ticks in profit. So it's going to land right here to get my stop to break even. I think it already did once it did. I should add my stop to break even already, but it's going to get right here to get the stop to break even. All right. The gold over here, should put in a lower swing right now. It's pushing down. It has not come up and hit the ribbon yet, and has not gotten to the overbought yet. Okay. The NQ, this blue background here that you see is a no trade zone. So that is what we're going to do over there, no trade. And over here on the SEC, it's getting into a no trade zone right now, but we still have that trade going right now that I should have my stop to break even on, but I didn't. So when I get a chance to, I'm going to bump my stop to break even. It's probably going to give me a break even, but I think it's going to get down to here, 44.62 now. If we look at the chart, 44.62 is right below the swing low, so that's a great number for it to be going to. Okay, it's right below the swing low, so that's really where it should go down to. Now, the trade setups, if you go to mytradingIQ.com and you click on trade rules right here, every trade has 3 parts. It has the entry, the risk management, and the exit. Now, so far I've done the risk management wrong on this trade because I should have had my stop at break even, but I did the entry exactly right. And the risk management is this part right here. These are 7-tick range bars. So I start out with a 10-tick stop, which is what I have right there. And it's supposed to trail to break even after 4 ticks in profit. That's where I went wrong. It hit 4 ticks in profit and I didn't move it to break even. I should be out of this trade at break even right now. All right. But once, if you do all that right, and you're still in the trade, then you have to look for the trade exit. On the trade exit, you have to look for the prior swing high or low. That is where the price should go to every time you get into a trade. It should exceed the prior swing high or low if it's going to continue the trend, right? So that's what you should get. You also need to learn to read the DOM. Now that's something that you'll learn when you sign up with us. I'll teach you how to do that. It's a pretty easy thing to do. Once you understand it, you'll never look at the DOM the same way again. But we're going to stop out. We just did stop out on it. That should have been a break-even trade for me. Right, the DOM was suggesting it was going to go down here to 44.62, and it still will go down to 44.62. It's just not going to do it right now. We are in a no trade zone here, a no trade zone here, and a no trade zone here. So all the indices are in no trade zones right now. All right, let me jump into the live stream here for a second. If anybody is in the live stream and you want to see anything other than what we have going on here, you want to see any kind of forex or crypto or anything like that, you just got to give me a symbol. Okay, just give me the symbol, and I'll go there for you. Okay. Okay, so I'm waiting right now for something to get out of the no trade zone and give us an opportunity. If you guys don't ask about anything, I'll just start going over random equities. One of our guys, this today, I don't remember if I did or didn't. Let's use gold. Gold doesn't think it's moving at all. So let's use gold. Now, APLS is this thing. I think I went over this yesterday. I'm pretty sure I did. We looked at it on the daily. Remember, did we do that yesterday? And it showed this big gap right here. I said now it's pulled back up to here, and it should bounce off of here, probably down to this swing low. But it's got this big gap to fill up here. Ronnie, I'm not sure if Ronnie's in here now, but here, I keep bouncing myself back and forth, in and out, in and out. 172, 169, 169 is a knee. All right, so I think I'm back in both places right now. Yeah, so when you get a gap like this, you know, with equities, with stocks like this, it takes a while for it to fill. It'll eventually fill, but it takes a while for it to fill. When that happens with futures, it tends to fill. Okay. Now if we look at this on a smaller time frame, the APLS thing, the daily chart, but if we bump it down to like a 5, every bar is a nickel, because this isn't a very high price stock, so every bar is a nickel. So right now it looks like it's trying to get down to this level right here. If you look left, 31.67. This big run up in the last couple of days was up to right here, 34.33. It's been looking pretty bad since then. Now, if you have 1,000 shares of it, you know, that nickel is $50. So it's meaningful, but it is what it is. You know, that's APLS. Just have any other symbols you want to look at. Anybody that wants to look at any of the symbols, I'm happy to go else. Otherwise, we're just going to trade futures in here. Right? The ES moved where it should go, and everything is still in a no trade zone, so we don't really have anything we can work with right now. I'll put this back on gold for right now. It was on Z, right? December gold. These gold. I believe we left this alone. Yeah, we did. Okay, so we need a lower swing here on the ES to take a trade, and we're just kind of going sideways here. So we don't really have a trade going on there right now either. But if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to, then go here to mytradingiq.com and sign up for the trial right there. If you guys are watching this after the fact, I wanted to post something to you. I'm going to be able to do this without kicking myself off again. We are doing a live stream. Here, come on, doing a live stream. Here, TradingView. There we go. Go to and hang on when it comes up. In upcoming streams, you will see, hang on, when it comes up. Hey, look, this is us right now, but in upcoming streams, you will see this right here. Or you can be doing this again tomorrow morning at 9:15 a.m. For anybody that's watching this after the fact, you can trade the open with us at 9:15. Over 80% of the time so far in 2023, we got the goal in the first 30 minutes, and today was no different. We got the goal in the first 30 minutes today, first 3 minutes. Right. Just want to point that out to anybody that comes and watches this after the fact. You can check it out with us tomorrow morning. All right. So we don't always get a lot of stuff going on in here right now, but in the morning there's, in that first half an hour, well, in that half an hour from the 15-minute pre-market to the 15-minute post-market, there is almost always something good going on. Right. Be interesting to see how many days we actually get the goal for the day in the pre-market, starting at 9:15. That will be an interesting statistic. Over time. Yeah, over time. We're gonna do it this week, and we'll see how it goes this week. If it works out this week, and people seem to like it, then we'll do it some more. Okay. Let me shut this thing off. Okay, and reconnect here. There. All right. So I'm waiting. We're not going to do anything here until we have a lowering. That green arrow right there. We're not really trending yet. Okay, we're still in no trade zones here and here. We just came out of it here, barely. right. So we don't have a lower swing here. We don't have anything that we can do right now. We're just waiting. So again, anybody that's watching right now, if you want to see anything else, one of the things that somebody asked for this morning, in the morning session, I don't know if you're watching, but was EURUSD was this morning. Okay, and this is what it looks like here. Now with this, you want to change the sensitivity because there's so many decimal places. You got to change the sensitivity right now. All right, let's see how that does. I want to change it a little. It's actually pretty good. It's not too bad right there, but this is the wrong time frame. We can't do this on like a 5 range. We got to do this on something else. Let's bump this to a 25 range. Okay. There we go. Now on the 25 range, you want to have the sensitivity set so it's there when the markets are flat. You're not trading. You have the no trade zone when the markets are flat. You see right here, you're getting your green arrows exactly where you should. And with the EURUSD, it's bouncing off the ribbon exactly where it should, coming out of here. Remember, the markets are always doing the same thing. No matter what market it is, they're always doing the same thing. They're going down, and they're going up, and they're going down, and they're going up, and they're going down, and they're going up. And what our indicators do is first tell you when you really need to be looking in that direction, or you really need to be looking in that direction. And then they tell you precisely where you should be entering. Okay, if you should be entering and where you should be entering. Right in here, right? Up, down, enter, up, down, enter, up. Did not complete the swing. Did a direction change, so you don't do anything. After you do this, and you either take a break even or take a little profit, you don't go in that direction anymore. You don't do anything until it changes directions. It starts giving you something over here, right? Then you enter in here. It goes down, extends the trend, pulls back, enter in here, goes down, extends the trend, goes back. You don't actually have an entry here yet, but what you should, looks like right here is where you should have had an entry right there. Should have probably had an entry right there, a black arrow, going out of the overbought. Not exactly sure why it didn't give you a black arrow there. It should have. But, oh, it might have green only set. I don't see any black arrows on this one, so let me just check that. Okay, and see if we have green only here. It is possible that we have a green only on. Yeah, we do, right here. There. Okay. So you did get a black arrow right there. And that's what EURUSD looks like. It should go down to here at least. But one of the things that we'll get into in the lesson plan, I think the lesson plan for tomorrow is leg lengths. All right. And that's roughly your leg length, right? So that's what you expect on the pullback. That's what you expect on this one, right? So using the leg lengths, this should get down probably to this level. Should get down below this level and probably down to this level. Down to this level, through that level, down to that level. That's what it's looking like, right? So we'll pop that back over to the side and see if you have any trades setting up yet. No, nothing yet. If you're in here and you're on the live stream, TradingView, if you want to take a free trial with us, if you like what you see, you want to take a free trial, tradingxq.com. Right here is where you sign up for the free trial, 9:30 to 11:30. If you're going to do that, give us your username, TradingView. Right? When you sign up, you'll be sent to this page, registration page, and right down here you have the option to give us your TradingView username. You should do that. Do that, and we'll get your indicators set up for you right away. Right. Let's see. That's it. Let's go back to the charts. All right, the NQ's direction, the long-term direction, the outer bands, they're now bullish. The Russell is starting to, the ES wants to, but it's got a lot of work to do to change directions there. Taylor, are you in the air right now? No. Okay. Well, we're just waiting. So on the ES right now, let's just look at the ES. Do a little preliminary examination here. Price wants to pull back right here. So where does it want to pull back to? 44.67.75. 44.67.75. Let's just draw that there. That's where it wants to pull back to. Okay. And once it does that, then we'll see if anything changes on the upside. But right now, it's still looking pretty weak on the downside. It could go right through that. It's possible that it will go right through that. But it does want to pull back here. It's looking pretty weak on the upside. If we look left a little bit, watch this USD, URUSD thing over here. It's got to go through this, down to this. Now, it's not moving real fast, but that's what it's trying to do over there. Okay, on this one, on the ES, if we look left right here, it sold off here before. This is kind of a tough spot for it right here. It's going to get dated here, and then it failed. It's kind of a tough spot. There is no valid trade set up right now. You're getting just little bits of information from the DOM and from protection. Nothing you can act on, just little bits of information. All right. So on the NQ now, we want to get a pretty deep pullback here down toward the ribbon. After you get a trend change like this, I like to have a pullback and test the ribbon before I take a trade. I like to see a green arrow before I take a trade. These black arrows, I mean, this one worked out okay, but I like to see the pullback and then you can continue the trend. I want to grab it at the base of the first leg. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Anyone? Anything? No. Okay. It's me. 163 is me. Why does that keep happening? All right. So on the NQ, we are getting a deeper pullback. We're in the oversold over here now. We're in the oversold. We haven't hit the ribbon. This is a pretty deep pullback, but I wanted to actually hit the ribbon here. So we're going to have just a couple more ticks to hit that ribbon, and then we'll be looking for a long trade off. Right. If it starts to run right now, it's going to give a black arrow. I'm still looking for the green arrow. Right. I want to come down and hit the ribbon. Right. Yes, two DOMs are mixed up here. There it is. Okay. There. Now we hit the ribbon. Okay. So let's just look at this. Now, the low of this bar is right here at 72. Add 5 to that. That'd be add 4 to that. Sorry, it'd be 76. Oops, is that right? 72 up to 76 is where I should have been in. I must have clicked it wrong or something. But 76 is where I should have gotten in on that. Maybe I was looking at the wrong low. But anyway, this bar is going to close up. It was trade. All right, so now it needs to go 8 ticks into profit. 8 ticks into profit, right there to hit break even. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. And it has a 26 stop on it. Stop should be 5 points away. That's actually 5 points right there. It's going to hit 78.25. That'll bump the stop to break even. It's almost there. There it is. Stop to break even. Okay, and now it should get up here to the prior swing high at 84. 84. Now I have a target on 83.50. That's 30 ticks up there. Right, I'm just going to lock in a couple here right now. But it should get all the way up here and give us this whole thing. All right, +4. But it should still get all the way up there and give us the whole thing. Right, so we got our pullback over here that we're looking for on the ES, and it's bounced a little bit off the pullback. I don't see any good place for it to run to yet. I don't see any good to go on the downside either, so it's looking like it's going to consolidate here a little bit. The EUR USD did not drop down to this level yet, but it's just moving around really slow, so it may take a little while for that to happen. Those guys that are in live stream, if you have any questions, or any of you guys that are out there that are watching right now, if you have any questions, you want to see anything other than what I'm showing, just type in a symbol. So back to the ES right now. Okay, we're still in a no-day zone, so we don't have any trade here. We thought it was going to pull back down here to 67.75, which it's done now. Now, what's it going to do next? If you look down here at the bottom, you see how these are so close. That suggests you're just going to be in chop. Okay, it suggests you're just going to be in chop right there. So I have to wait till it gets out of the chop. It's starting a little push right here, but I still don't see any reason for it to move up too far. Okay, 72.50 area is what it's looking like. It's probably gonna try to get up to here. 72.50 area is what it's looking like. Let me look at it again. Still nothing major, but 72.50, 73 is starting to build up right up here. The Russell, let's look at the Russell right now. Russell gave a green arrow long trade, and that one is going to go to, I just saw it a second ago. 680, I think. There's 700. That's where it's going to. I know I just saw it. Right here is where this is going to go up to. Okay. That's what it looks like it wants to get up to anyway. Okay, over here on the NQ, we took a break even on this trade a few minutes ago. It still hasn't put in the higher swing yet. Looking for that to happen. Yeah, we need that to get up above there. 6.3. I'm not in Russell. I'm not in anything right now. I don't have any trades on. I don't see any questions coming in. Anybody wants to see any other symbols? Markets are kind of flat right now. I mean, we stood out with no trade zones on everything. And now we're just kind of hanging on. This 73, I think, is what it's going to try to do. 72, 73 on the ES. Everything's just giving little starts and then quit. No follow through. So it's 126. I didn't realize we only have 4 minutes left here, guys. I don't know that we're going to get another trade. Things aren't looking like they're going to give us. They're not going to set up and give us anything else. This is the only thing we're looking at other than futures. Something else. Let's get Tesla. Tesla looks like a pretty good one. Well, so far today, this is on the 25 range. So every bar is a quarter. Okay, it's quartering. So you're not gonna make a lot of money that way. But let's do every bar is a buck. Okay, put it on 100. Now it's a little bit better. Still about the same. It works out. You don't get any volatility. You don't get any volatility. Doesn't matter what time frame we're looking at. Let's look at Apple. Let's see about this one. You have a nice green arrow in here. This one's still working out. Not really doing anything. Big gap down right here, though. That was in August. What is this on? 100 range. Okay. Yeah, so not a whole lot happened here on 100 range with the Apple at 184. We'll have to do that down like 50 range. Here, do a 50 range. Get a little more activity in there. Still pretty messy. Not a lot of trades per day in here on a 50 range. We'll try a 25 range. Just means it's not volatile lately. Much happening there either. That's some nice green arrows over here. That's every bar is a quarter. I don't know about that. We want to get a higher swing over here on the NQ. We want to get a higher swing on the Russell. Now, this is what we were looking at on the Russell a little while ago. 1907.0 is what it looks like it was trying to get up to a few minutes ago. Is that still the case? I can't tell, but I think going to be. I think it is, yeah. All right. Well, we're just about out of time here, guys. We don't really have any other trades setting up right now. We have this one right here. We had the one we took over here on the NQ, took a little profit. We had the one on the ES that I messed up, and I should have gotten a break even, but it stopped me out. And we didn't have anything on gold, and we don't have anything yet on Apple. And we're looking at EURUSD. EURUSD. We're looking at this for a minute. And I'm going to do these levels in here. It's still trying, it's got to get down here. And once it goes through that, it should get down to here. Maybe we'll look at this tomorrow and see what happens. Doesn't look like we're going to get to today. All right, we're running out of time. So if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to, go here to mytradingiq.com. Right here's where you sign up for the free trial. All right. We are starting at 9:15 in the morning. We're going to do another live stream. So if you're watching this after the fact, 9:15 in the morning, you will be able to go right here. And down at the bottom in upcoming streams, if you go to community, when it loads up, you go to community and live streams. Down at the bottom, it'll say upcoming streams. We'll have a thing in there. Here. It'll look like this tomorrow morning. It's not there right now, but tomorrow morning. And it will look like this. Let me show you. This right here. All right, that starts at 9:15 in the morning. So if you're watching now, or if you're watching this later tonight, and we usually have a bunch of people that watch it after the fact at night. Click on this, do it in there in the morning, and start at 9:15 a.m. Eastern time. Okay. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Live stream and send it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you're ready.
Yes, I am. recap of the morning session.
Today it took 3 minutes and one trade to get to $800.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, one last look here at the daily chart. Remember, the title of today's broadcast was the importance of swing highs and swing lows. So, what are we battling? Friday's swing low. We took it out by 2 ticks, which you should be very suspicious of a new low or high of a couple ticks or even a couple points when you're looking at a daily chart. What you should have been expecting is that as price approached Friday's low, you would get a bounce. And we did. But obviously the prevailing trend is down. Now, you always hear me say the pullback holds more often than not. Here, 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 here. And we talked about this one might not hold. And we were talking about that before it did not hold. Got below it, we pulled back to the BVC and it held, 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 and it held. And we had our first candle that opened and closed below the BVC. Then we got one last pullback up to the BVC. That was today's session, which started last night at 6 p.m. Eastern. And now we're just off the low of the session. You want to see price handily take out Friday's low, and then you'll have a window of opportunity down to the low of July 10th. Once that's handily taken out, then you'll have a window of opportunity down to the 24% Fib retracement, which just so happens to also be the low of June 26th and 27th. Okay, so the opportunity is to the downside. Remember, it's the institutional traders that actually move price. Their accounts are denominated in the hundreds of millions, billions, and even trillions of dollars. When they trade, price moves. Our strategy and our indicators are not designed to beat the market or outsmart the institutions with all their money. Our strategy and indicators are designed to help you clearly understand what the deep pockets are doing, because if they're the ones who move price, then all you have to do is exactly what they're doing, just long enough to get your goal for the day, and then have the discipline to put the mouse away. To become a lifetime member, just go to eminifuturestrading.com. That's where you get your passport. That is a lifetime access to everything we do, everything we've ever done, and whatever we do in the future. As a passport holder, there are no recurring fees, no upsells, no nonsense. 9 out of 10 new traders fail because they don't have someone to teach them how to do the job. Think of any career you can possibly think of, and then imagine trying to do that without having someone to teach you how to do the job. Hard to imagine, yet that's exactly what 9 out of 10 new traders do. Hence, they fail. If you want a shot at becoming the 1 out of 10 who do succeed, then you're going to need somebody who will devote their time and their energy in teaching you how to do the job. Passport holders have access to unlimited one-on-one private mentoring. There's no fine print there. Unlimited means unlimited. The strategy you learn, the indicators that you own for life as a passport holder, are built for futures, stocks, crypto, forex, ETFs, whatever you like to trade. How's that possible? Because price flows the same across all markets and all time frames. Support, resistance, back to support, back to resistance, over and over again and again. It is a never-ending cycle. Passport holders, again, no recurring fees, no upsells, no nonsense. Plus, you receive the Logic 247 alerts around the clock, Concierge Trade Alert report every evening when it's published, and you're able to attend the members-only workshop every Thursday night. All that and so much more. Again, the Passport is your all-access pass to everything we do, everything we've ever done, and whatever we do in the future with no recurring fees. Not weekly, not monthly, not annually. When we say lifetime, we mean lifetime. There's no fine print. So, if you have questions, call 949-42-EMINI, email support@cfrn.net, or just go straight to eminifuturestrading.com, get your Passport today. We'll get your desktop and indicators set up straight away. A good word for the day is don't get distracted. Proverbs 4:25. Let your eyes look straight ahead. To succeed at what God has called you to do, you must do these things. Number one, remove distractions. This isn't easy because most of us get hundreds of emails, texts, and tweets every day. But you must do it. How? By keeping the discipline of practicing your priorities. Don't accomplish easy things first, or hard things first, or urgent things first. Do first things first. The activities that provide you with the highest return. That way you keep distractions minimized. Number two, protect yourself from distractions. Allocate blocks of time to think without interruption. Make yourself unavailable so you can work without interruption. If you're a leader, master the art of balancing the necessity to remain accessible to others with your need to withdraw from them to think. Jesus often withdrew from activities and prayed. Luke 5:16. To know people's needs, he spent time with people. To meet people's needs, he spent time with God in prayer. As a result, he was always in the right place, at the right time, with the right people, doing the right things. You've got to do the same. If you're naturally withdrawn, then make sure to get out among people more often. If you're always on the go, then remove yourself periodically so that you can be refreshed and refocused in order to accomplish what God has called you to do. Proverbs 4:25. Look straight ahead and fix your eyes on what lies before you. Mark out a straight path for your feet. Stay on the safe path. Don't get sidetracked. That's our good word for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with His mercy and with His grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reeves, his co-hosts, and guests. To learn more about trading E-mini futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.